Hello, welcome back to the O2GT channel, and today we are taking a look at the World Cup 2022 away kits. I had a look at the home kits last time and that video did pretty well, so thank you for your support on that one, but I think it's only right that we take a look at the away kits as well. I don't think they're as strong as the home kits this year, personally. A lot of those home kits were absolute bangers, and I can't really say the same for the away kits, which is unfortunate because the away kit sometimes gives you some license for creativity. But that being said, there are also some good kits in there. So let's jump into it, shall we? So we're going to start off with the unreleased kit, and that is Cameroon. Now, it's not been released yet, but the new kit supplier has released their first kit. So All One Sports have done a kit for a Casablanca football team, and it doesn't really look that great, but I don't really want to use that to judge what the Cameroon kit may look like. So to avoid any controversy, I've just stuck it in 32nd place because we don't know what it's going to look like. It could look brilliant, it could look awful, so that remains to be seen at the time of recording anyway. And then move on to 31st place, the first actual kit that is released, and that is Canada. Again, Canada have been treated like a League One football club, and it's just a palette swapped home shirt to make it even worse. Zero effort put in here whatsoever, and the white somehow looks worse than the red. I'm not sure how you've managed that. Something needs to happen if you want nice Canadian shirts. I'm not sure if it's a different supplier or what it is, but Nike clearly are not doing you any favours. And then move on to 30th place, and I've got Iran. Now this is similar to Canada here. They've just swapped colours. White from the home shirt is now red, kind of in a swap to what Canada have done. But the design looks worse on this red than it did on the white. The kind of green wavy design they've got on the shirt looks look quite nice with the white. I thought those colours worked well, but then you put it with the red, it doesn't look nice. I'm not a fan. Sorry, Iran. And move on to 29th place, and I've got Uruguay. If you've been looking at the kit releases this year, you'll know that Puma's away shirts have been templates. Now this isn't the first time they've done these template things. They did it last season as well. Just look at them. Terrible.
Get out! My eyes are bleached! Get that away from me!
And I think this is another example of that. So this is the first of the awful Puma away shirts this season. And yeah, I'm sorry if you've got Puma this year because these shirts aren't great. You've been done dirty. But somehow there were shirts worse than this, which is kind of impressive if you ask me. They all share the same template with very little difference. I think Uruguay is the worst of the bunch, which is why it's so high up or so low down, depending on how you want to grade this. Moving on to 28th place, we've got the Netherlands. Now this shirt is worse than the majority of the Puma ones in my opinion, because of the Nike template. As soon as I saw the Nike template for this year, I was not a fan. I saw it with that Tottenham shirt, awful. Yeah, this template just always remind me of that Tottenham shirt, and I hate it. Credit to the Netherlands, they do have a better colour palette than the Spurs shirt. Still though, zero effort put into this kit. The home kit at least had something unique with it. And move on to 27th place, it's Australia. Now, Australia and the Netherlands have been ranked very closely in my home kits and now in this one too. Same with the Netherlands, just with a slightly different colour palette. And I think the colour palette they've chosen looks slightly better than the one on the Netherlands. The crest and the Nike tick have been colour matched to the top bit here on the shirt, which is very nice. They didn't do that with the Netherlands shirt, which is why I think it falls off. But still, not a lot of effort put into it. Moving to 26th place, we've got Poland. Now, I think I've been slightly kinder to this shirt than the other ones above it in this list because it reminds me of a Forest kit we used to have. However, there is no effort put in here, and I'd argue much less than was put in for the home one. They're both templates, and while this isn't a terrible kit, you should be putting in effort for a challenge like the World Cup or the Euros because that is a world stage where millions upon millions, probably even billions are going to be watching the World Cup, so you really want a banging shirt for that, and a lot of clubs unfortunately do not have that this year. It's quite unfortunate. Moving into 25th place, we've got Costa Rica. Okay, take the home shirt and make it white. Oh, that's the away shirt, and my criticisms of the home shirt still stand for this one. You know what? We'll play that clip here. Another kit in which not much has been done to it. This is New Balance's only kit in the tournament, and they've not put their best foot forward when designing this kit because it just looks bad. I'm sorry, Costa Rica fans, but it's terrible. And move on to 24th place, we've got Switzerland. And we're back with those awful Puma templates. I'm surprised it's at 24th, to be honest. Away kits this year have not been great. Now, I've rated them higher than the previously mentioned kits because some effort has been put in to make them look unique. Much much different from the ones last year. So they do look a bit different from one another. Switzerland's looks like one of those My Name Is tags. Why have you got that on a football shirt? I move on to Senegal. This one isn't great. Slightly better than the Swiss one, but barely. And that's not saying much. Moving on to the 22nd, and we have Ghana. Another Puma template, but as far as they go, this one isn't too bad. They implemented a nice pattern into the design here, but again, it's just a box. What are you doing with this box motif? I don't like it. Moving on to 21st place is Serbia. Now, Puma have moved away from the box here, and instead we've gone for a more circular design. The gold coloration looks nice here, and the inclusion of the subtle cross design we saw on the home shirt is also a nice touch. But it still uses that template though, so I can't rate it too highly. And in 20th place, we've got Morocco. And in my opinion, this is the best use of the Puma template. But it's still not great. The bar is quite low though. This version of the template implements the crest, and the border design looks really nice. It kind of fits with the whole theme of Morocco. In my opinion, as far as these designs go, it looks quite nice. And then move on to 19th place, and I've put Portugal. Yes! This is far better than the Portuguese home kit, however that's not saying much. It still doesn't look great all in all, but again I'm not really a fan of Portugal kits, and the home shirt was awful, and this one isn't too great either. The red and green band is not a great design in my opinion, it just looks a bit weird. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion of course. Not great from Portugal this year, but they're not going to win it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And in 18th place we've got Qatar. Now the design of this away shirt is quite interesting. It's inspired by the coastline of Qatar, and the design incorporates the tradition of pearl diving, which is a big thing in Qatar. But personally, I don't really see this connection. I guess the colours are that connection, but I'm not really a fan of those either. Also, I was correct in my assumption that the centralised crest shaved the home shirt, because with this layout, it doesn't look great. I feel like they could have changed the colours of the crest to fit the shirt design, and it would have looked a bit nicer, but they haven't. So it gets 18th place. And then moving on to Saudi Arabia in 17th place. I'm not sure what this design is supposed to represent, but it's not terrible either. I get leafy vibes from this, as I'm guessing the pattern is supposed to look like an all-over leaf print. However, it's not really a great shirt, but again, doesn't look terrible. And in 16th place, we've got Denmark. Now this is just a whiteout version of the home kit. I do think it's quite a clean design, but ultimately it does just look like a plain white shirt. And while close up you can see the details, from further away it's just a white shirt. So when you're viewing the World Cup, you're just going to see Donnies running around in a plain white shirt. And until you actually get like close-ups, that's all it's going to be. It's inspired by the iconic 1992 shirt, but with a modern and monochromatic take. However, the home kit does it better in my opinion. It's a fun gimmick though, it's a fun gimmick. And in 15th place, I've got the USA. Now I've seen this kit getting a lot of stick from people online, but I don't think it looks too bad. The centralized logo is once again a lovely touch, and the blue and navy tie-dye graphic they've got making the shirt design looks brilliant. This is to supposedly celebrate diversity and youth, and while I don't see it personally, the design looks great anyway. I've been a fan of the US shirts this season. They've not been terrible, because we've seen what we could have had, and that was shocking.
Get that away from me!
This is better in my opinion. They actually made that odd night template work somewhat, which is shocking in of itself. And then in 14th place we've got Argentina. Now I ranked their home shirt really highly, but they fumbled the bag on this one. I'm not a fan of this fiery graphic. It was okay on the Belgian sleeves, it looked nice there, but on the entire shirt it does not really look as good. Now the lavender colourway they've gone with represents the fight for gender equality, and combined with that fiery graphic, it is a reference to the national flag's famous Son of May. As a kit though, it doesn't look great. Yes, it can stand for all these lovely things, but if it doesn't look nice, not many people are going to buy it. Then we move on to 13th place, we've got Tunisia. Now I ranked their home shirt quite well, and that was before they released their official design, but seeing this official design, I would keep that rating as it was. Yeah, it's a nice design. Its design is supposedly based off of the armour of Hannibal, a famous Carthaginian general who took the elephants to the Alps. I'm a fan of this design. It looks nice. This design on the home kit looks a lot better than it does here. I feel like that's I think that's a theme throughout this shirt ranking. The red designs look better than the white designs, but that's just my opinion, of course. And in 12th place, I've got Brazil. Another home kit I ranked highly has fumbled the bag on the away shirt. The leopard print, as was seen across the home shirt, is also seen here on the sleeves of this kit. I think it looks decent. And similarly to the England kit, there's a gradient on the sleeves which fades to reveal these leopard spots, which I think is a nice touch. However, This shirt does not feature the little details of the home kit which I loved so much, which is why I don't rate it as highly. It just looks a bit odd in my opinion. And in 11th place we've got Germany. Now I thought Germany had one of the best shirts of this tournament, but then I saw the away shirt and they really fumbled it. The home kit was beautiful, an amazing shirt, I could wax about it for hours, but this away shirt, I'm not a fan. The graphic of the front takes D from Deutschland, and then they've blurred it and applied that as a pattern to represent the dynamic football that the team play. I just think it looks like an odd design that I'm not really a fan of. And in 10th place, yes, we're at the top 10 now, so if your shirt is here, it's a lovely kit. You've done good here. We've got Belgium. I like this. The shirt is inspired by the Adidas ex-Belgian FA ex-Tomorrowland Love capsule collection and has the same aesthetic as seen in that collection. Now the base shirt is just plain white, which would have got a terrible ranking if this is all they had. But they've added splashes of colour across the shirt that really elevate it and create a wonderful design. The word love is printed on the back of the shirt in multicolours, which it looks nice. I like it. And these colours represent the values of diversity, equality and inclusivity. And for the first time in a shirt design this tournament, I actually see it. So well done Belgium, you've made it into the top 10. And in 9th we've got South Korea. Now this is a very funky shirt and I'm a big fan. The away shirt highlights the Taeguk? Now that's a Korean word, so I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's on screen anyway. The symbol found in the Korean flag that represents the national pride and balance between heaven in blue and earth in red. The white logos really stand out on this kit and look really nice against the multicoloured shirt, and it also reminds me of the Forest Third kit this season, which I'm a big fan of. And in 8th place we've got Japan. Now this shirt is not as great as their home shirt, but saying that, it is still a nice shirt nonetheless. It's predominantly white with the same origami design we saw on the home shirt, featuring in blue and red on the sleeves. Almost looks like a bit of a glitch design in my opinion. These add a really nice pop of colour to what would have been a really plain shirt, and I think it works really well. And in 7th place we've got Croatia. Now I think this shirt is quite contentious among football fans, especially those in Croatia, but I like it far more than the home shirt. It features a blurred checkers design across the top right of the shirt, which continues onto the sleeve too. It looks really nice. And the placement of the national crest also works well, being placed within the checkers. However, I think if it was colour matched to the design of the shirt, it would look far better. But the red Nike tick is also a nice touch, and it works with the shirt despite there being little to no red on it. And then in 6th place we've got France. Now France have had a great home shirt this season, and this away kit is no different. The kit is adorned with a graphic print inspired by their traditional Toy de Joie fabric, I think, featuring iconic moments and landmarks from across France. And a cow! You don't see cows on football kits that often, do you? These designs, combined with the iconic blue crest and tip, create a lovely and cohesive shirt design. It looks lovely, but I don't think it can hold a candle to that woman's shirt. And in 5th place, the top 5. Now these kits are the best of the best, and we're starting off with England. Now I'm English, as I'm sure you are aware, but that bias did not pay into it, because I did not rank the England shirt that highly. Didn't really vibe with it. However, this shirt I love. I really think it's one of the best kits England have received in recent memory. I love a collar. You've heard me bang on about how much I love collars, and this shirt, it looks amazing with a collar. And I think the colour scheme they've used is brilliant as well. It's like an orangey red and a dark blue, which works quite well actually. However, as much as I could gush on about this England shirt, it is not the best of the tournament. There are shirts better as we're going to go through, but a very solid effort nonetheless. And in 4th place we've got Wales. Now Wales have been really strong with their kits this year, and this away kit is probably my favourite of the two. I will concede though, it is mostly a white shirt, and that in itself isn't brilliant, but look at the collar, look at the side panels. That zigzag design is amazing. I love it. I don't know what it is that I like about it, but I just love it so much. And it looks great on Nico Williams as well. And in 3rd place we've got Ecuador now. So if you remember that home shirts video, I did not rank Ecuador highly at all, but this away kit, what a banger. This takes all the details that I loved from the home shirt and implements them onto a shirt with a beautiful colour scheme and design. The shirt is mainly navy with a light blue geometric pattern on the front. Now I couldn't find anything to say this pattern represents anything of Ecuador. I think it might just be a nice design, but it looks cool nonetheless. The logos have been recoloured in silver, which complements the rest of the design of the shirt and makes it look far better than if these logos were untouched. I think changing the logos really elevates the design of the shirt. It looks wonderful. Well done, Ecuador. And then in 2nd place, we've got Spain. Now, Spain have been one of the strongest sides in terms of kits this tournament, and this away kit is another reason for that. It looks beautiful. I've seen this one in person, and it looks just as good as it does in the promotional material. I go feral for a centralised crest, and Spain have executed it brilliantly here. The 3 shoulder stripes are indicative of an Adidas kit are also coloured to represent the Spanish flag, which is a lovely touch. That new Spanish crest also looks great in red, despite being on a mainly blue shirt. I don't think it detracts from the design at all. However, a monochrome design would have been amazing. And finally, the number 1 spot. I'm sure you can all guess who it is by the teams we've looked at so far, but Mexico. An absolute banger from Mexico. And this tournament, they've done amazingly. I think this is the best away kit we've seen. Look at this beauty. It's a design inspired by Quetzalcoatl, the same inspiration for the home kit. This all-over pattern is brilliant. I'm a huge fan, and it features a little Quetzalcoatl graphic on the back of the shirt as well. Look at him, just chilling. I'm a huge fan of the print Adidas have used on this shirt, and that combined with the Mexico crest and Adidas logo in a red colour to create a cohesive shirt design that looks absolutely stunning. If it wasn't 70 quid, I would buy this shirt. But as I'm not Mexican, I can't really justify spending that much on a Mexico shirt at the moment anyway. So well done Mexico, your shirt looks brilliant. And that's been my ranking of the World Cup 22 away shirts. We've had some absolute bangers in there, but as I said, most were not as good as the home shirts, which is unfortunate because you can kind of go a bit crazy with an away shirt, I feel, and most teams haven't done that. Anyway, I've been O2GT. Let me know your thoughts on these away shirts down below, and yeah, I shall see you guys in my next video. Peace.